Well, I think the biggest factor would be the length that we've added. We've added over 200 yards and pretty strategic with that length. So that'll certainly be the number one factor. And then we've realigned a lot of the bunkers to ensure that they come into play for these guys that hit it so far. But those will be the two primary factors. And then, as John mentioned, our green expansions will be interesting. I think we have some ability in different conditions to really make the golf course play the way that certainly we want to see it play. The USGA will ultimately make those decisions. They're the experts with all of that. But we're excited.
How much of a voice did you have in Renovations?
It's hard. Gil is obviously he is the master. We've seen that throughout the past few championships. He did LACC, did the Country Club. But Gil is incredible. He's an incredible listener, and certainly listened to our membership and wanted to understand the history. And one of the unique things at Oakmont is our membership demands a challenging golf course day in and day out. It's been that way from the beginning, and that was something that he understood from the get-go, and was important throughout the entire project. So he was very had open ears with that, and we think that what he did out there produced a product that everyone will be proud of next year, and on a daily basis, everyone's just ecstatic with it.
Devin, like the greens were too tough from the pros. Do you see that as another complaint this time?
Yeah, I don't know if too tough exists in our vocabulary here. They are challenging. We love the story that we slow them down, and that is true. I mean, there are days out here where you wouldn't play them at certain speeds for any type of golf tournament, U.S. Open included. I don't think, again, I'd use the word too tough, but they are challenging for sure.
Devin, if players were to walk into the shop and talk to you about the course, what would you want them to say about Oakmont?
What would I want them to say?
Like what type of conditions, what kind of setup do you want them to be challenged with?
Well, I think it'll be similar to what's always been the case at Oakmont. We talk about the greens a lot, but Oakmont is a driving golf course. You have to hit your golf ball in the fairway, whether it's today where the rough's 2.5 inches or US Open where it's US Open rough. You have to hit your ball in play to really have any chance. So that is first and foremost, and then once you get in the fairway, you just got to try to keep it below the hole.
How fine is that line between challenging and fair?
Yeah, I guess it is a fine line, and again, the USGA they demonstrated it at Pinehurst. I think they rode that line perfectly. I mean, it was really challenging down there, but fair. So it is a fine line, and I think it gets down to firmness and speed. We're hoping we're in a position weather-wise where it rained in 2016 and 07. It was really firm and fast, especially on the weekend. We'd love to see another year like 07.
As an anchor course, what kind of pride does Oakmont take in being only one of three?
I mean, as John Lynch, our president, mentioned, it's humbling, overwhelming when you think about it, one of three. But you go back through our history. 10 used to be our 10th U.S. Open. It's really built into the DNA and the fabric of the club to host these championships. So I think that when you go back prior to 2021, as soon as you step foot at Oakmont and become involved in the club and part of the fabric, you realize that it's something that is part of what we do here and what we enjoy. But having that runway of knowing that for the next 25 years all these championships are lined up, just allows USGA and us to really take a much broader look at the championships. And I think that 2025 it will be evident that, hey, like, this isn't just a once every 8-year thing. It's for the next 25 years.
With the win today, what would how challenging would this course be?
So as you guys know, you're all from Western Pennsylvania. Wind doesn't typically blow like this. This would make it really hard, really, really challenging. Yeah.
How long have you been the pro?
So this is my 8th season as head professional. Started here in 2006 as an intern, and worked my way up to an assistant, and obviously was fortunate enough to be the guy selected when Bob Ford stepped down in 2016. 2016 Open.
What have been the biggest changes in the course since you've been here?
Well, gosh, so it's almost been 20 years. I mean, I was even here for part of the tree removal. Not so much on the interior of the golf course, but we removed those trees along the turnpike in between 11 and 12. That really opened up a lot of vistas on the golf course. And then, this recent restoration certainly would have to be the most significant changes that I've seen in my time here. Gil did, as I mentioned, a lot of work. So restoring it back to what we feel is near as it's been in decades to what WC and HC phones would have laid out on the grounds here. So it's gonna be fun to watch.